White House correspondent Yamiche Alcindor. Good to see you both. Yamiche, I'll start with you. It has been a very hours for tariff policy at the White House. Bring us up to speed, and why is President Trump sending these new letters right now?
Well, as you know, this deadline that the president set for countries to renegotiate tariff rates with the U.S. is Wednesday, July 9th. But the president is sending out these letters as a sort of ultimatum, saying that if you're a country that has not actually
Law and Myanmar, really poor country, 40%.
This number as the number that you're going to pay if you want to do business in the United States. The president essentially saying that the United States is a sort of department store, and here's the rate that you're going to pay. So we've already seen letters go out to places like South Korea and Japan. We expect more letters. That he was sending at least a dozen letters out. The other thing to note is even smaller countries are also going to be getting letters. They said that the administration has said it's about 10% for those countries. So this is really the president in some ways trying to make good on the threat that he had to impose new tariffs, while also, by the way, moving the goalposts here a bit, because he was saying that it was going to be July 9th, but these letters say that the new tariff rates are actually going to start getting paid on August 1st. So circle that date on your calendar, Sinclair.
So those are our relationships with our partners overseas. Brian, what are you hearing from businesses here at home? Are they feeling like these tariff hikes are here to stay, or maybe the can's getting kicked down the road?
Yeah, well, if you rewind to 88 days ago when the pause first began, you had a lot of businesses that were probably saying, yeah, I know that there's I'm not going to my house, not bet the business on these tariffs going away forever. So I think that for a lot of businesses, they've been stockpiling already. They've been pulling forward a lot of their orders from countries like, let's say, China, to get them into their warehouses here in the United States ahead of those tariffs. So at what point do consumers buy through the stockpiling that they already have, by which point they might have to order new things from abroad, in which case it would be subject to those tariffs? That remains to be seen. But we haven't seen massive spike in inflation or prices as a result of the tariffs because of that stockpiling. The question is if this is prolonged enough, we might later on down the line.
And then we've been reporting a lot on the president's mega bill signed on Friday, July 4th. It's a $3 trillion piece of legislation that the White House has said could largely be paid for by tariffs. Can you explain how?
Yeah, well, this is a talking point from the White House saying that with these tariff revenues that are coming in, that they could pay for things like the One Big Beautiful Bill. But you have those like the CRFB that have been warning that that rhetoric isn't true. To be fair, this was an analysis that was about a month ago, but prior to the current iteration of the bill that was passed into law by the president. But at that time, they said that the roughly $2.5 to $3 trillion in deficits would not be fully covered by the tariffs. They only estimated that the tariffs would only cover about a sixth of the One Big Beautiful Bill's cost. So it's not anywhere close to paying for it, aside separately from the counterintuitive rhetoric of if the tariffs are about getting fair deals with other countries, well then if they ink those deals, they wouldn't be getting tariff revenue because the tariffs would come down. So is it really about paying the bills for these big legislation efforts, or is it about getting deals with other countries? It's one or the other, not one.
All right, Brian Chung, Yamiche Alcindor, thank you both so much. And still ahead, a woman in Australia is found guilty of murdering her in-laws.